Hello, guys. Welcome back to Gospel News. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. Welcome back. Let's go straight to the reason why we are here today without wasting your time. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do that immediately and follow us on all the other social media platforms. Let's go straight. Now, they say that the governor of Anambra State, which is Governor Soludo, has said that if Buhari does not release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that he's going to shift his focus from that his expired tenure to the incoming administration, which is this Tinubu, who has so much controversies surrounding his emergence as the president-elect of Nigeria. Now, look at the statement coming from Governor Soludo. He says, if Buhari eventually fails to really, we will ask President-elect Tinubu to release Nnamdi Kanu. Anambra Governor Soludo says. That was his statement, that because the way things are going now, it seems that all the pleas that the Igbo elite and the Igbo governors, Southeast governors have, accorded to the president, the failed president, Muhammadu Buhari, has failed. And they fell on deaf ears. So he said that he's shifting his focus from Buhari to Tinubu since it is just 2 days to his inauguration. So, voila, they finish. So now Tinubu now we go still con the ask for help again. Tinubu released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's such a shame that Buhari did not do these things despite all the beggings from all departments of Igbo section, both home and abroad. Buhari refused to hearken to their pleas. And also the way they take the give fine against anybody will be say, if they challenge Tinubu now, it don't even they shock me. I'm still in shock. This one here says that court orders litigant, lawyer, to pay Tinubu+APC 17 million naira fine in suit trying to stop his inauguration. Everything now just in favor of Tinubu. Nobody is just winning any case against Tinubu anymore. People will say you get dual citizenship. They don't give them fine, sef. People will say, no swear I'm in, because of this or that, because of his age or his name and all that. They don't still give them fine. High Court Chief Justice reportedly barred judges from entertaining presidential election cases seeking to stop Tinubu's inauguration. Oga. I don't tell on her before, say anybody will be say they wait, say may they stop Tinubu's inauguration, say that person, they waste his or her energy. These people have orchestrated the plan. They don't already plan and keep. Say, this Tinubu na do or die. Tinubu himself is working tooth and nail to make sure that his name becomes the president of Nigeria. His name enters that book. See, he was one of the presidents of Nigeria. Even if Nigeria wants to end tomorrow, but shall make Joshua answer that name as the president. That's all. Make you see how much where they still loot before time. Before time go pass finish. We'll go straight into details and start with Governor Soludo on his plea for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's release. Governor Soludo of Anambra State has again called for the release of the incarcerated leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, saying such will engender sustainable development and guarantee security in the Southeast region. Soludo noted that if the outgoing president, Muhammadu Buhari, eventually fails to heed the request of many Nigerians and stakeholders on releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he, Soludo, would shift his attention to the incoming government of BuhariTinubu to grant that very request. Sahara reporters had reported that IPOB leader was abducted in Kenya and extraordinarily renditioned to Nigeria against international and national laws in June 2021 to face treasonable felony and the charges in court. Since then, he has remained in solitary confinement at the headquarters of the Department of State Services, DSS, despite several court judgments and United Nations Human Rights Commission on arbitrary detention that ordered his release and adequate reparations paid to him. They say all these things, none of them has been, Buhari no dey even pay attention to any of these things. He just they do as he like. Despite the United Nations Human Rights working group, that wrote that they are giving the Nigerian government and Buhari 6 months to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That 6 months have elapsed, but we cannot see a single result. Not even the UN, the so-called working group, is reacting to this again. We can't even hear their voices. They have died on the road. Also, Southeast leaders, including the Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, have consistently called on the outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari to release Kanu to them and adopt dialogue, but to no avail. Sahara reporters had reported on Friday that the Anambra State Governor wrote President Buhari to release Nnamdi Kanu before he leaves office. But featuring on Channel's TV program on Friday, Soludo said that if Buhari eventually failed to release the IPOB leader, he would shift his attention to the incoming government of Bola Tinubu. The governor whose state, Anambra, is one of the sit-at-home protest venues against the continued incarceration of Kanu, said the economy had been badly affected. According to him, the April 20th letter was also copied to the president-elect Bola Tinubu. Soludo said this is a cause that one believes in. Consistently, I am an advocate of the rule of law and justice for all, and therefore, if you look at the letter, that letter is copied to the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and I want to also believe that a copy have been delivered to his office as it were. The Attorney General is also copied in this letter, and if President Muhammadu Buhari's administration fails to take advantage of this opportunity to really rise above every other thing and be a statesman, as it were, if the president fails to take advantage of that, we will be pursuing the same thing with the incoming administration. Soludo believed that if Kanu was out, he will be able to tell who his real people were and reign in them, and the criminals will be isolated. Now, waiting the talk, say because of the security situation in the southeast, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is needed urgently to identify criminals from the shepherds. Say that a lot of criminals are sabotaging every effort, and some people are using the guise of this agitation to perpetrate evil. Now, one of the major reasons we can say made them bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out quickly so that the tension in the southeast can be dosed. Let's listen to him.
Do you consider that there is a court process in place and that perhaps may have to take its natural course?
Yeah. Thank you very much, Shehu. Thank you for having me, and thank you to the listeners. Yes, first point to make, Shehu, is that letter was actually written late April. If you see the stamp of the acknowledgement on that letter, it was received in the office of the Chief of Staff on the 26th of last month. And yes, on the 26th of April. And the letter was actually dated 20th of April. And so that is for a fact. So it wasn't written yesterday. It's about a month, exactly a month today, that letter was delivered to the office of the Chief of Staff. And what is the message? The message, first of all, is to thank the President and the federal government for the way that they have handled the insurgents, the Boko Haram issue in the Northeast, and also granting amnesty and a rehabilitation program for people involved in the Boko Haram insurgency and so on. Now come to the Southeast, where Southeast faces some systemic, what I describe as systemic insecurity. and will curb this agitation snowballing into today all manner of criminal gangs everywhere in the Southeast profess to be agitators, as it were. And we kind of think, I mean, since I came in as governor, we have faced these criminals head on in various dimensions. IPOB has consistently denied that it's part of the systemic insecurity. Some others attribute them to those, and then they deny. But we think it is time now, even though we've made substantial progress in terms of addressing, dealing with the criminals, because we have zero tolerance for criminality. But there is a bigger part of the reconciliation process, what the security people call the non-kinetic approach, which requires getting all the stakeholders on the table, around the table, to discuss the way forward and the future of security, peace, and development in the Southeast. And I'm convinced that Nnamdi Kanu, hate or love him, agree with him, disagree with him, has become an important stakeholder in that conversation, giving as well what his own people are doing or not doing. And we need to have him around the table for that conversation. So we made that point about security, long-term security, sustainable security in the Southeast to have all critical stakeholders. The issue of the rule of law is also another basis for our appeal. That there are several court judgments demanding for his release and unconditional release. And at least one of those court judgments has not been challenged up until this moment. Okay. Then there is the issue of his health. We read everything, all manner of things on the new media about his state of health and need for urgent attention. And like I said, also then for compassion. Yes, it's in the courts, but it's been on now for God knows how long. This matter has been in the courts, almost 2 years, getting to 2 years now. And that is a saying that justice delayed is justice denied. If you want to have this, let's expedite this whole process and conclude it. I couldn't believe that this whole process would have lasted more than a year, for example. We're now getting 2 years, and they still stuck at this lower bit, and then the courts asking for him to be released. Release him. And I said, okay. The second bit is if, because of the ongoing court processes, you can't release him unconditionally as ordered by the courts, because you have appealed one of the judgments. And I'm saying, for some other compassionate for us to achieve the other objectives, hand him over to me. We will keep him. When you need him, we'll release him, we'll bring him to you. I will be the shorty. I'm prepared to do that. So we can start off the process of the healing and the systematic solution of the long-term security and development challenges in the Southeast. So that's what this letter is about.
Yeah. So if the President Buhari just have a few days left under his belt to.
All right. When I don't hear now waiting Governor Soludo, they ask and demand from this president, this current president of Muhammadu Buhari. Now, we go straight this way where they take the rule in favor of Tinubu, everything now his favor, now then they rule and fall. Now, court orders litigants, lawyer to pay Tinubu+APC and APC 17 million naira fine in suit to stop inauguration. Everybody now, I go do, thank God I know even carry this this case within my mind before I can't go meet them for court to Justice Omotosho imposed the fine on Praise Iloma, Pastor Paul Isaac Audu, and Dr. Anonog Moses, who jointly instituted the suit, praying for an order to halt swearing in of Tinubu as new president. The three litigants are to jointly pay the president-elect the sum of 10 million naira and another 5 million naira to the All Progressive Congress APC, who were part of the 7 defendants in the suit. Justice Omotosho also ordered that an interest of 10 percentage be placed on the judgment debt per year until when finally liquidated. Their lawyer who filed the suit was ordered to pay 1 million naira to each of Tinubu and APC. My goodness. Una dey hear matter. This one don't read who Tinubu don't capture this country. Anybody where they tell you say they don't do like this, they don't do like that, Oga. At the day's proceedings, their counsel pleaded with the court to pardon his client and advised that the court should counsel them against embarking on frivolous suits in the future. Counsel to Tinubu+APC had argued that the suit be dismissed on the ground that the three plaintiffs lacked locus standi to institute it. The senior lawyer informed the court that none of the plaintiffs participated in the primary election that produced the president-elect but chose to harass Tinubu through the suit. Mr. Fagbemi further argued that the litigants engaged in gross abuse of court process by their multiple cases against Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress in various courts without any reasonable cause of action. The three plaintiffs had in their suit sought to stop the May 29th inauguration on the alleged ground that the president-elect Bola Tinubu supplied false information to the Independent National Electoral Commission, which is INEC, about his age and citizenship status. Ona the hear matter. God. Tinubu, he hold this country by the groin. He hold Nigeria by the groin. So, all this one where the OB is coming, OB is coming. Where is he coming? APC don't hold this country. So nothing say I want use the same court when they control. They push them come out. My brother, my sister, please have a rethink and be ready to welcome this Tinubu. God, I guess some videos where I go even want share with Ona, but let's go straight to another news. I go talk when I want to talk about High Court. This justice will be say you don't do matter. Say may court no can they do, may judges no do anyhow inside court. Stay tuned and God bless you. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.